Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Simmy's Weekly News Roundup. I'm your host, SimmyDot. Let's begin with the latest updates from this week in Star Citizen. The ship showdown came to a close, and the Drake Corsair has battled against the Drake Vulture. There were two Drake ships in the final two, with the Corsair taking the crown, which is well deserved. The Corsair is a really good ship, and Drake has been dropping some really good ships these past couple months, so to see them both battle it out, pretty much this was the Drake showdown. Not too bad. 320 is on the PTU and should be wave 3 right now. I see it going live probably by the end of summer, where there's still a little bit of issues, but I'm loving it. It's very smooth and responsive. There are some issues still with the hull C that needs to be ironed out, but I see it going live by end of summer. Each patch that comes out into the PTU has been receiving a lot of quality of life fixes, such as the EVA bug is finally gone, so now when you jump out of your ship, you're not going to be rotating around your wrists 100 times before you finally can go where you go. I was able to test it out yesterday, and it's pretty cool, it's pretty good. You could jump out and do whatever you want. The ping finally returned from your scanner, so now you could see objects in the dark. Before you could still see the ground and everything, so the ping is back. And they finally said they found what the issue was for the invisible player bug. So I haven't really been able to test out to see if that's true or not. We won't probably know until Jumptown or something comes around, but they say it's gone. And I have noticed on the PTU that you see people with a lot less desync. You see them running, walking. They're not just jumping and going into your elevator out of nowhere, just popping up. You see people actually doing what they're doing. So maybe, the bug is gone, the desync is better. Only time will tell. The AI is definitely better. They're walking around. They're not standing on chairs. They're looking like it's a living, breathing station or city wherever you're going. I mean, some of the AI are walking in circles, but I'll take that over standing over chairs. Still some irons to be fixed out. And the FPS is way better in a lot of places, especially Lorville. I'm loving all these quality of life fixes. But again, we really won't see these changes until it goes to live and we have a full load on the server. And with Starfield taking a lot of players away from Star Citizen, it's really hard to tell, is it less load on the servers or are these issues really ironed out? We really won't tell until it goes to live. Can't wait to see 320 goes to the full servers and we could really see if these fixes, hold cement and are real. Moving on to other 320 issues, we have the Hull C and its cargo gameplay loop. As you know, the Hull C is brand new to 320, and I've yet to really do a complete trading route because a lot of the moving parts when it comes to the trading route, it's definitely seeing some bugs still. Sometimes you can't contact the cargo center. Sometimes they won't load your cargo. Sometimes they sell you way too much cargo, so now you can't load cargo. It's definitely some issues that need to be ironed out still with the Hull C. So I don't know. It might take a while for 320 to go live for them to iron out these issues, but other than that, I mean, I'm loving the Hull C. I'm loving the way it looks. I'm loving the feel. I'm loving the docking. I'm loving the loading of the cargo when it finally works. I just wish that it was a little bit more stable. They also have the brand new Seraphim station, and as you know, when they bring new things into the server, that it tends to have its own issues, but I mean, for the most part, Seraphim has been working pretty well. Sometimes the elevators go down. Sometimes, like I said, the radio control doesn't listen or they don't answer. It's very unresponsive. And this is the last time that you'll be able to visit PO in 319.1, so make sure you get there because you will get a brand new Spectrum badge for visiting. The AI ship pools have been updated, so now in bounties you'll see a wide variety of ships besides ships that don't make sense. They said they don't want to see pirates flying like Cutlass Blues. I'm pretty sure you don't really want to see a bounty in a mole, but I've seen it. But there are a large variety of ships added into the pool for bounties, which is great. I love to see that. Moving on, there's also improvements to the Ares Starfighter series, the Inferno and the Ion. I'm going to do a video on this later on in the week, so make sure you check that out. Arena Commander has definitely got a nice overhaul, and I'm really liking the changes more than I thought I would. I'm using it a lot more, especially it's great when the PU isn't working and there's a lot of bugs going on in the PTU. You could just log out and go to the Arena Commander and mess around for like hours. And I've loved the new racing, and like I said, I'm going to drop a video more in detail later, so make sure to check it out. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. We have mining improvements, so overall the mole and the prospectors, the instability bug has been fixed, and the mole has received some nerfs by the way. So solo moling is going to be hard to do with the new drifting the ship does. So you're going to have to either drift solo mole in space or go to moons without atmosphere, because the drift is really bad in the mole. Which, I mean, I guess it's okay, but again, it sucks for us solo miners. And tying right into that, we have the atmospheric ground effects, which I think, improves the storms and the visual effects with storms, but also it seems like it affects your ship when you're hovering. So like I said, if you're solo mole mining, you're going to need to hire a pilot nowadays or go to a different area. We have the atmospheric turbulence, which is pretty much the same thing. Like it adds into the instability of like solo mole mining. We have the ground vehicle handling improvements, which I've got a little bit of taste with it, and I'm definitely going to do my first impressions on it. So like I said, stay tuned. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. We have character mobility improvements, so now your character can vault and jump, and the climbing ladders have improved. I've seen a little bit of a bug still with climbing ladders. Hopefully that gets ironed out before 320 goes live. We have the UGF or Rad Star improvements, so now the underground facilities have a little bit of a cosmetic upgrade. I mean, there's really no fundamental difference to the actual underground facilities itself, but we've seen the Rad Star tool, and I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully it helps with immersion, I guess. We have HUD and visual improvements to each HUD now. It's a little sharper. Some HUDs are different colors for different manufacturers, and overall it's a lot easier to read. Like I said, there's still some bugs with it. I think some HUDs are too tiny, and I find myself having to zoom in to see them. So hopefully that gets fixed in future. Like for instance, the HUD of the mole is pretty tiny, and I find myself having to zoom in when I'm scanning for rocks to see what it's actually saying. So hopefully they make that a little bigger. And in some ships it's like way too big, so they've definitely got to fine tune those, but it's good to see the improvements on that. We have combat logging changes as well, so now people will not be able to just combat log and run away from bounties and stuff like that. Your body will persist in the server, so hopefully that helps on that front. We have a lot of social options where they will allow only your friends or whoever you allow to call you, send party invites, to invite you to party, and a whole bunch of other things. Hopefully it doesn't affect voice over IP, even though people don't use it, but it's good to see that people won't be able to spam you with different types of invites. We have quantum HUD changes as well, so now the quantum is tighter and it's more aligned to the point of where you have to jump. It's really nice. I like it. It doesn't take over the whole screen. It's a nice little quality of life change, and I'm well appreciated to it. So moving on, let's look at the new ships that are slated to come out in 320 and 320.x patches. So on Thursday, Star Citizen was all about racing, and the Fury LX was shown. Now a lot of people say this was just a glorified ship sale, which I'm pretty sure it is because it worked, and I definitely want it because you guys know how much I love racing. But the Fury LX was shown, and it's definitely very improved. I like it. They removed all the weapon hardpoints and they put extra thrusters for maneuverability, so it's going to be a dedicated racing ship. I can't wait for that. We also have leaks of cutter variants, 2 of them in fact. We have the Scout and the Exploration. So the Scout's going to have a scanner. It's probably going to be something like the Herald or the Mercury Star Runner, and you're going to have to do data running when that gameplay comes out. So maybe that is pretty much almost here since they're coming out with a new ship with it. And the Exploration will just be more longer range, and it's going to have a better quantum drive most likely. I can't wait to see these 2 ships come out. I mean, I'm not a Drake fan, but I would like to cover it for the channel. We also have the C1 and the A1, the new Mercury lineup here. That's going to be a ship that's going to compete with the Cutlass Blacks of sorts and the Freelancers. Can't wait for this ship to come out in the 3.1x patch. And of course, we have the Tumblr Storm, slated to be also released in some .x patch as well. So 320 is looking really, really impressive. We didn't know that we were going to get all these improvements when we first saw it on the projects tracker, but when it's coming to live, it's brought a lot of quality of life changes and a lot of additions that I think people will like when they finally get their hands on it. On Friday, we had Star Citizen Live, and it was pretty much the Arena Commander team showing off all the new features and playing in Arena Commander for a little bit. And that does it for the news for the week. If you found this video informative and entertaining, don't forget to smash that like button and share with your fellow Star Citizens. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and join the Discord community. Don't forget to leave in the comments below. Have you been able to test out the PTU? Have you been able to try all these different quality of life features? What's your favorite feature in 320? And are you excited for 320, or are you just playing Starfield? Well, anyway, thanks for listening. I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all know what to do already, and I'll see you in the verse. Peace.